you see a Sunseeker, you might be reminded of James Bond, martinis, the south of France, the rich and the famous. But what you're really seeing is the pinnacle of what hand-built really means.
And we're back between Two Yetis, here at the headquarters of Sunseeker in the UK.
My father ran a manufacturing business in the 90s, making lights for boats. Sunseeker was one of his bread and butter accounts, as it is for so many in the supply chain. Every time somebody buys a Sunseeker, it is not only putting food on the table for thousands of people all around the world, but it's keeping the craft of boat building alive. As part of our On Tour series, I wanted to come and see how the factory and the product has evolved over the past 20 years, and meet the people responsible for carrying the brand forward onto the next generation, following the death of its founder and CEO, Robert Braithwaite, in 2019. This is the Between Two Yetis Sunseeker Special. Poole is a coastal town and seaport on the south coast of England. With an estimated population of about 150,000, Sunseeker directly employs 2,500 people. It's fair to say its presence is felt almost everywhere, from the docks to the town centre.
And welcome to Sunseeker.
Thank you. This is our tour. So I've wanted to do this for, I don't know, the best part of a year or so now.
Where and now you've done it.
And now we've done it. And we've done it with a company very close to my heart.
Very good.
It's being British. We are all very proud of what you guys have here.
Very good. We're very fortunate. We've got a fantastic workforce. 2,500 people, apart from the National Health Service, we're the main employer. Yeah. So we're very important to the region, very important to Dorset in particular. And we've had a heritage in shipbuilding for 50 years, you know.
The Sunseeker facilities sprawl across the town, between multiple sites, from the shipyards to the docks to the design and technology centre. I got to meet a few of the guys on the shop floor of various disciplines, from carpentry to electronics to soft finishes, and the overwhelming notion was that they all loved their job, lived locally, and in most cases had started as an apprentice and were now at the top of their game. These are the hands that make the Sunseeker promise. Harry. This is his 4th day as an apprentice, and it's remarkable to think that this kid could one day be running the factory.
Right, and so did you get a choice of where you came? Or
well, there was a choice of apprenticeship to choose from: electrical, carpentry, engineer or laminator. So I've obviously gone for electrical. I applied for an apprenticeship with Sunseeker, and they've chosen Bournemouth and Poole College because that's the leading marine college for our paperwork side of things, MVQ and all that.
I'm sorry, it's an MVQ you get?
Yeah.
Which is a National Vocational Qualification, I believe. Which is much more valuable
than some A-levels.
Than some A-levels.
to me anyway, yeah.
So now you're trying to challenge one of the biggest problems we have in the industry, which is talent. It's young people coming into the craft. Because one of the biggest problems we're facing in South Florida is that we've got the facilities, we've got the technology, we don't have the people.
Yeah, I mean, we've been recruiting and training young people in apprenticeships for 50 years. And I think what we recognise is...
From the very beginning?
From the very beginning. You know, we actually still have our first apprentice. He's still employed with us today.
That's right, we need to speak to him.
Yeah, Dennis. Dennis Barnes started here as Robert's first apprentice.
Wow.
He recently travelled to Miami as a sort of reward for his long service. So he got to take his wife to the Miami Boat Show for a week, in recognition of his long service. But yeah, we still have the first formal apprentice.
Seeing how the company treats its employees almost like a sports team, where they want to train and recruit the very best, is something I hadn't expected to find. And you can see it in the finished product. You can sense it in the cleanliness of the shop floor. And you can feel it in the heartbeat of the workforce. They've built a culture of competitiveness and excellence in what feels like a family environment.
You've got a hell of a responsibility in your hands, actually, because the Sunseeker brand is treasured by the industry.
Yeah, and building a brand takes many years, and Robert worked very hard to give us the brand that we've got today. Unfortunately, as we've seen in the past with many companies, if you don't look after that brand very carefully, it can go off the end of the cliff. So it's quite a daunting task, for the senior management to keep a brand like Sunseeker as relevant, as well known, and at the pinnacle of the industry. It's a big responsibility, but what a nice responsibility to have.
The guy who started all this, Robert Braithwaite, has left a legacy and a passion behind, and it looks like it's in safe hands. The craft of shipbuilding is made by people. When you step onto a yacht, what you're seeing is hand-built excellence, tradition and craft. The very essence of building a yacht is uniquely handmade.